I still wanted to beautify the whole area, not just the one property. And the only way to do that is, raise equity, raise debt, do bigger projects or do more of them. This word called focus, we're going to talk about this later in the talk probably, but buying rental properties has got me into property management. And one of my older kind of mentors, like, hey, as you're managing properties, don't forget to keep buying them. Because this guy at the time was like 65. He owned like maybe 45 single family homes. He bought one a year, two a year for years, and he had a bunch of equity, and that was his retirement plan. So he told me, don't forget to keep buying along the way. However, when I got into property management and you realize all of the problems and issues you could have that we've talked about, creating processes and systems, I took a step back and said, you know what, I'm just going to put my head down on Dodson property management, and that's it. I'm not sure, maybe a year, maybe 3 years, I don't know. It ended up being 3 years. So I didn't buy anything for 3 years. That amount of focus, I think I attribute that to a lot of the success we had, because we created this like culture of identify a problem, fix the process, train the process. Identify a problem, fix the process, train the process, over and over and over again. You'll never be perfect, but we felt like we had a process for every part of the property management game that allowed us to, to operate well, but also probably scale. And so after 3 years, I came back up for air and said, you know what? Okay, I'm not involved with the clients and the tenants anymore, so I have a little bit of room to breathe, and that allowed me to get back into investing again.
Yeah, it's awesome. Again, very similar. Early on, the first year in property management, I bought tons. Well, not tons. I bought a fair amount of houses for the first year and was buying a bunch of investments, and I needed to put my head down and make sure that this company was like everything we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And then, so it was like a number of years, unless something fell in my lap that I could just scoop up, like I wasn't looking for anything.
Right.
And then it got to the point where we finally had a team in place, and now I can focus on that again, because I do feel like the business is great to have, but it's also good to diversify a little bit by actually owning the property as well.
Sure.
Development.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned, you got into some more complicated stuff relatively early on, but what was like the first development deal? Like, how did that come apart where you're like, dude, I'm going to start doing this on a larger scale?
Yeah, a couple of steps. Number one, like that first flip that went wrong on 26th Street in Churchill, the light bulbs went off because we bought this house. Half the block back then was renovated and looked nice and shiny and new. The other half was just looked terrible. And I remember trying to sell this house, and people would come look at it, and they didn't want to buy it because there was blighted property here, blighted property there. And so I thought, man, what if I had the resources to buy every house on this street, make the whole street beautiful? How would that work? That got me into thinking about not just doing a project here and a project there, but kind of clustering projects together to help a whole neighborhood transition faster. I think people are less... Maybe it's just me, and I'm more used to being in cities, but I grew up in the suburbs, and any kind of blight at all, graffiti or rundown house, whatever, would scare me away as a tenant or a home buyer. Not everybody's like that now. A lot more people have vision and are used to urban surroundings, but I still wanted to beautify the whole area, not just the one property. And the only way to do that is, raise equity, raise debt, do bigger projects or do more of them.